Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to Star Wars Day. That's right. May 25th is the anniversary of the original release of Star Wars. It wasn't called A New Hope yet, didn't say episode 4. There was a bit of a struggle for Lucas to even get that part done. But we're going to spend the day just kind of sharing some positive things, some interesting memories. Every year we've done this the last couple years. It is a playlist in the description for all of the different things. I have 3 live streams today, a couple videos. I know some other folks will be doing some things. I'll update those descriptions as I get more information from some of our other creators that are out there. So didn't have an intro specifically for this show, and I thought I'd do something a little differently. We would just play an actual commercial break from the original TV airing of Star Wars. So that's what you're about to see.
Listen, my friends, here's Taste. A great tasting cereal with a crispy crunch called CW Post. Sure, everybody likes it, even the kids. Pardon me, son, that's mine. It's got taste that'll grab you right off of the spoon. It's vitamin fortified, natural too. Oats, rice, honey, and more with a crunch that's crispy light. CW Post. Here's Taste. Great tasting cereal with a crispy crunch called CW Post. Family style cereal. Pardon me, son, that's mine.
Our wedding anniversary, 6.5 weeks, and I've got this terrible cold. He brought me all these medicines. All I really need is Vicks NyQuil, nighttime colds medicine. NyQuil helps with these sneezing, stuffy head cold capsules do, cough, scratchy throat, cough syrups do, aches, pain relievers do. NyQuil alone does all that, so I can get the rest I need.
Got everything you need, dear?
Everything. What a guy.
NyQuil alone does it all.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away,
Here they come.
Star Wars,
Coming in too fast.
an adventure unlike anything on your planet. It's an epic of heroes and villains and aliens from 1,000 worlds. Star Wars, rated PG.
Now playing. Check newspapers for a theater near you.
So yeah, there you go, folks. An actual during this re-release time, and go back into the theaters and doing that. So anyway, hope everybody's doing okay out there. Is everything working all right? My audio not working? Yeah, it's working okay.
I'm fine with me.
Okay, good. Yeah, Wilson. Welcome everybody. Look at this.
You are coming in 5 by 5, my friend.
Right here to my left, the Jinja Ninja himself, right across the pond from Japan himself. Tons of great stories and things to get back with them to talk about. Great to have you, James. Thanks for hanging out with us, brother.
My pleasure. Thanks again for having me on. And the year has gone by quite quickly, hasn't it? Feel like we're just
Always
doing
does.
this
The
yesterday.
older we get, it seems like it's on a faster spin. I don't understand what's happening. We're going from 33 RPMs to 45, and I feel like it's going to be 78 soon. I don't know what's happening, but yeah.
Oh, 78, the year I was born.
Oh, there we
The
go.
year after Star Wars, correct?
That is correct. That is.
Yeah.
The year we got toys. So
The first when was the first re-release?
82. No, the first really.
Was it like didn't it come back for like Christmas in 79 or 78?
It came back multiple times. So yeah, because it came back, it left for a moment and it kind of came back for like Oscar season, and then it basically came back to the theaters on and off again. And then I always mention this is why 1982 I think is still the best year in movies, is because we had a re-release of Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark during that summer. So as a kid, you're 11 years old, you're going to the theater anyway. Yeah, it was pretty wicked. And yeah, so. But Eric, Rev Sully's in the house, coming back. I think it's your second kickoff day with the old Star Wars.
I'm
I did it last year. Great to have you back, my friend.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Pops. This is great to have the best company literally in the world, because two of our guests are coming to us live and direct from the land of the rising sun in Japan. They're literally big in Japan. Yes. Good to see Jinja Ninja and AC. Angry King.
Yeah, good to see you too, man.
Well, and AC, my friend, it's great to have you, brother, man. It's awesome. You've been doing Star Wars Month, which I totally advocate for. I think it's great to see that. So AC, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. And just like how there needs to be balance in the Force, we got to have balance on the panel and bring in a younger guy from the prequel era, just to keep things in check.
There is nothing wrong with that. We talk about this pretty regularly. I have my fun time with my kids. AC is You could be one of my adopted children from across the pond. We'll see what it costs me. Belated child support costs, but yeah, like my own children, AC shares their loves and fondnesses for different things, and yeah, it's fun to have sort of an orthodox Star Wars day where we can do that, but also not throw any shade towards it. Actually, later today, I'll be doing a 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith sort of review panel tonight.
Nice. And legend
And
has it that used to in Japan saw episode 3 together.
We did.
Like father and son.
Yeah, Avery bought a big pop, like a bucket of popcorn, and
was it Darth Vader helmet shaped?
I was gonna say something, but I'll stop. It's Pop's channel.
Hey! This is Pop's channel. You gotta keep it PG, all right? Not PG-13, such as Revenge of the Sith was, because of the. Why was it PG-13? Because he literally abused his wife. That was heavy.
Yeah, he choked her.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that place was packed. Well, we'll probably get into talking about it later, but it was insanely packed. A lot more than how many days did they show it? Angry? Do you remember?
It was, if I remember correctly, it was from the 4th to the 6th.
Okay, so
a couple days. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
wow.
That was fun.
It made like $50 million. So I don't know what it made globally, but I know that that's solid. And that's what I've heard here too, James. And you guys is here locally. I heard that the turnout and response for Revenge of the Sith was just phenomenal. And actually, we were just talking about yesterday, and we both said we just forgot. We somehow thought it would be later in May, and we just forgot about it and missed it. So it's a shame. I watched it yesterday on the drive up to see them, and it was fascinating to kind of revisit a film like that for sure. So, but just to know, AC, he's got a lot of love around here. Give AC some love, something special for you, AC.
New from Lego Star Wars, the Jedi are in pursuit of Cad Bane and General Grievous. Quick, you can build a massive clone turbo tank. Load your heroes and find General Grievous. The Clone Turbo Tank and General Grievous Starfighter. New from Lego Star Wars. Each set sold separately.
Man.
Each set sold separately. So.
Well, somebody's been watching my build streams because you must have known that I have that one.
I do, and I do watch those build streams. I love to live vicariously through AC, and it's proven me to be prophetic. This is again another reason Eric and Jinja why we do what we do, because there's no expiration on this, right? So like the cards that Jinja you're throwing out of the universe, who knows how many hands they will change over the course of the next 10 to 20 years. It's completely insane who will get to be able, who is this character, or they open a pack for the very first time, they see some character they don't recognize. That's exciting. Rev Sully and I have talked about it. We're so inspired by creators like the Bob Rosses and the Mr. Rogers and the folks that we grew up on. And one thing I told AC when he was doing these Lego builds, and it was so true, is people are going to come back to these videos and they're going to ask you, or they're going to be watching different things because they can't figure something out. They're going to be watching your video of how to put something together. And I think AC was the Venator, right? Somebody already, yeah. It's fantastic, man. You do good stuff.
I just want to give up love in the design of the prequels, because looking at General Grievous's Starfighter right there, even in its cubish Lego form, I love the design of that Starfighter. And there's one kind of like a little line that's in the Matthew Stover novelization that you don't see in the movie, because it's literally Obi-Wan's inner thoughts. He's like, why don't we have hyperdrives in our ships? And that was what he thought when he's flying away from Utapu. And that's because it was all a Jedi trap. That's why,
When we watched episode 3 where was it? It was in Osaka. Sorry, I've been working the last 4 days on these. I got a deadline for these sketch cards tomorrow, and I have been working nonstop for 4 days. So you have to forgive me if I'm a little fumbly with my words here. But that opening scene, episode 3, that was ridiculously amazing. Like we've devolved as far as like 3D CG goes.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. Like every single shot in that, at least that opening scene.
Yeah.
It was just
From the
it
crawl.
was great to see that.
War.
Oh yeah.
That's the first thing we see, and then when the war drums, the John Williams music, the drums are really profound because those are the war drums. And I'm like, wow! And then the scene of the two starfighters coming in and swoosh, action, galleons fighting on the sea with cannon. Oh gosh, what a great movie!
Yeah.
AC, do you have a favorite part?
Yeah, see, that's a question James asked me when we got done with watching it, and it's so hard because I have a lot of different moments, but I have to go with James on that opening scene. So coming from me, this is the first time I watched it in the movie theater, and I'm definitely a firm believer now that the theater experience is different than the at-home experience, and just on the simple fact that you hear all the sounds, like the sounds in the movie. But yeah, that opening scene with the crawl, then the war drums, and how they're just flying through the space battle that's going on. It's just, I mean, it was just unbelievable sitting there in the theater watching that. Like I'll never forget that. So yeah, I absolutely love that moment.
Yeah, I can tell you that the theatrical experiences of these things, this is what they're made for, especially if you're talking about stuff that's pre-2000. It was made for film. Very rarely would they make things with the idea of video first or streaming first. So, for instance, I will never forget taking my daughter to see Jaws in the theater for the first time, and she was just shocked at what a different experience it was. Like it really it's so intense.
It's a tribal thing, especially with Jaws. That's a great example because everyone jumps at the disembodied head with Hooper in Act 2. Everybody in the entire theater jumps at that scene, and it's it's coming.
Yeah, I did a video on it. Go ahead.
I was like, even though it's coming, it gets you every single time.
Yeah. So I think one of the most shocking ones, which I did a video on, but I can't even do service to it, was my wife and I went and saw the re-release for Wizard of Oz. Now, we always watch Wizard of Oz. It's to me, it's a GOAT film. It's just it's phenomenal. But in a theater, when it's all dark and you're in the land of sepia, you are literally going to step in the land of the Technicolor when you watch Into the Land of the Munchkins. It is insane how like a visceral experience that your body and your brain must be. I don't even know how to really put it into words why it works the way it does, but you feel something different. It was an incredible experience, and I think that's the theatrical experience that Lucas tapped into with the prequels. Expanding his universe in a proper way that it feeds through into that original trilogy. And I think that it has aged exceedingly well. And I'm so glad to hear ACU and Jinja were able to have that theatrical experience again. Because you'll never forget that now. I mean, forever.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
never. On the big screen again. Yeah, I mean, it's a big screen movie. It reminds you of spectacle. Especially, I mean, there's a reason why Mustafar was over the top like that. It was Grand Guignol. It was opera, man. It was supposed to be bigger than big. It was like that must have been I remember that experience. I saw it opening night with my two of my best friends from high school. We were silent the entire walk back to the car for like 10 minutes. Nobody said a bloody word. I mean, I think we were all just thinking about it. What just happened? But that
like for me, I mean, speaking honestly, for me, like the original trilogy, for me, is I prefer those to the prequels. I'm not like the biggest fan of the prequel movies, but what I could honestly say is they feel so Star Wars more than anything that I've seen since then. And another thing that I was talking to AC about is like whenever I got out of Revenge of the Sith, the first thing that I wanted to is go back and just go watch the original trilogy again. Like it made me really like. It inspired me to go back and throw those on because I can still watch those and enjoy those for what they are, they're great movies.
AC, having not seen it in the theater, I'd love your thought because when I came out of Revenge of the Sith, saw it opening night with my high school best friend and the kids, I came out and I said, I can't believe he did it. I can't believe he pulled it off. Like there was some doubts. I got to be honest. After Attack of the Clones and the romance saga, it bogged the story down so much. It seemed like it was so important for him to have that be part of the fall that went into it with like a healthy bit of skepticism, but I came out seeing that tragic ending and the pain and the suffering that Anakin goes through. AC, did it sort of like magnify any of those elements for you, or what was your takeaway in that regard?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned this to James. If not, I thought about it on the way home that I understand now, like why that movie was as successful as it was, like afterwards. As far as like the movie itself, like if you ignore the other two movies, just everything about it, like the pacing of the movie, the scenes in the movie, shot for shot, the action, the dialogue, the music, of course, like just it was, dare I say, a near perfect movie with everything coming together for this final like moment in Star Wars before, we go back to the past. And it just kind of clicked with me. I don't know how to really describe it. Just I'm like, okay, I get it now. I understand why this is like well regarded by a lot of people. And I think it had to do with that theater experience, the magic of sitting in the theater. You're like Sully said, you're all in it together, right? So everyone, you kind of vibing with everyone around you and feeling the room and feeling the pressure of what's happening in the story. I mean, hearing, like I said earlier, the sound design, being able to hear that in a theater is insane. Like, I told James this, that when they're in the hangar bay in the beginning of the movie, like you could feel the volume of that hangar that they're standing in. And I felt like that's something that's kind of lost in a lot of these modern movies. Like, you just can't really feel the atmosphere in that particular scene. And so again, that has to go with good sound design, and obviously the theater experience, and George knowing like he was making this for the theater experience and not a DVD release. So yeah, it was fantastic. I don't know, like I can't even compare to any other movie now as far as like what is a great theater experience. I think that's my number one movie for the theater.
Awesome. But you saw Jurassic Park in theater,
not the originals. No.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of the concert that I watched. That was like a live orchestra. Yeah, that's different.
Okay. Yeah, you will not hold the Revenge of the Sith as high after you experience the original Jurassic Park.
I look forward to that day.
When it shakes the theater, when the water.
Oh
my God! It shakes the seats.
It's a very loud movie.
Because the first experience for me like that was Independence Day. Because I remember sitting in Independence Day and it shakes the auditorium. I'm like,
nice.
Whoa, something has changed. Like you felt like the sound design and the delivering it at home in a theater was different. And then once you get to Jurassic Park, you're like, wow, we are in a different world for sure. So
after what was it, Tokyo Comic Con last December, somebody came by the booth there. Everybody was ordering Lord of the Rings. Well, not everybody, but there was a lot more Lord of the Rings commissions than there were before, and it's because they had just released what was it? Rohirrim, something of the Rohirrim.
The Rohirrim animated.
Yeah. And so somebody said, "Oh, did you hear that their Return of the King is in theaters for this weekend?" I went, what? So I went out and watched that. And I had no idea. I went in there to go buy the ticket. I was like, wow, this is a little bit more expensive than it usually is. Maybe it's because it's just a special showing or whatever. And I looked at the ticket. It said 4D. And I was like, what does that mean? I had no idea what I was getting into. And I don't know if have you guys ever done a 4D experience?
No, not in a long time. But yeah, they shake the seats and stuff.
The seats shake. They move. Water sprays at you. Wind blows. It's the 4D experience. It was insane. It was great. And it was the extended version too. It was the director's cut.
Oh my gosh, man! Two Towers. I throw no shade at the other two movies, but Two Towers is my favorite, and it's that battle at Helm's Deep, and that experience would just be incredible. Holy crap!
4D with the battle at Gondor.
Yeah,
that was insane. That was. It was an insane experience. Yeah.
Good morning, Keely Chow. Thanks for joining us. Happy Star Wars Day to you, my friend. And feel free to throw some comments or questions or whatever you like out there and help guide the show a little bit. We definitely enjoy that. Let's see here. Trying to make sure that everything is good to go. And we'll throw another media asset out there. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Well, Pops, I was wondering, did you actually have a link for this in the... Because I didn't see a link for it. I put in one in the... I did like a quote retweet, and I put the link for it in here, but I didn't see a link in the the tweet that you put out. Maybe I'm looking at something wrong here.
Oh dear Lord! So
I got a tweet out there with the link on it. You could right click that.
Where at?
Let me.
On my timeline. Look, you look.
Yeah,
at your
yeah. I
buddy,
put one on my
your
timeline.
your
as well.
number one Twitter go-to for positivity and comic books and stuff.
Way more optimistic than I am. So yeah, I have to give Rev Sully the love. So
Hey,
yes.
Hulk 25 this week was magnificent. I mean,
Yeah. Sorry to throw that at you right now.
No,
but
you're
I just-
fine. It's
Yeah.
we've had a bit of a kerfluffle of a morning, and still trying to play some catch up on some of that kind of stuff. Hopefully, the rest of the day will go a little bit smoother. I will.
and as Obi-Wan was falling
only
to his
uphill.
apparent death on Utapu, after turned on by Commander Koti and his troops, he gave himself over to the Force with a calm and hit the water, knowing that Boga sacrificed her life, his dragon mount, and that he just entered the flow of the Force and was taken where the Force willed. Thank you, Matthew Stover.
So I wanted to flash back a little bit, and I know that this will probably be closer home to like everyone else AC. I don't know if you even ever seen these or not AC, but when you grow up in the 70s into the early 80s, Star Wars really kind of helped like transition us into our imagination and whatever, but we were still cursed with not a lot of high value costuming or way to cosplay or pretend, but this was our Halloween.
Everybody's heading for Woolworth and Woolco to get set for Halloween. There's Star Wars costumes like Darth Vader and C-3PO. Superheroes like Spider-Man, Wonder Woman and Batman. There's the Shogun Warrior and many more, all at bare bones prices. Only $1.97 to $3.99. And wrapped candy of every kind to cheer any spirit. All at the favorite Halloween haunts, Woolworth and Woolco.
What do you think of that high-tech Darth Vader costume there, AC?
Oh, boy.
That's next level right there.
The finest vinyl, the finest flammable vinyl brought to you by Ben Cooper. And let me tell you, I wore those when in the and the inside of your thigh, maybe it's my farmer's thighs that I inherited from my Irish grandfather who was a farmer. But I busted out the thighs, every single one, for like first, second, third grade. And
the mask would only last for a few seconds, man. You
know,
could barely do anything, and the rubber band would break off.
And because they would always and then they would get so foggy in the inside. Well, like moisture,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't fall. You didn't have an eyepiece. You had eye holes. But yeah, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I see that, the first thing that comes to mind is Halloween, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, right there. Just all the
Snorty's
kids
in the
dressed up as-
house.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, Snorty. Hope you're doing all right, brother. Happy Star Wars Day to you. And yeah, may the Force be with you. And also,
It's his farce.
May the Force be with you.
yes.
May the Schwartz be with you.
The other one I wanted to play just to have a chance to jab at someone who of AC's age, because as old guys get to do that from time to time, is the fact that the prequel guys don't say at, they will say AT, and it's a weird thing.
It's new AT-AT, the all-terrain armored transport from Kenner. Batteries not included, action figures each sold separately. You can make AT-AT walk. Its legs are big enough to crush obstacles. You can move AT-AT's head and pretend to scan for rebels. AT-AT has a cockpit for Imperial Commander and AT-AT driver, and laser machine guns. When you push a button to fire the laser cannons, you activate battle lights and sounds. There's even a troop compartment. New AT-AT from Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection.
That way to pronounce it, because that commercial makes it canon. AT is the way to say it. AT, you're just wasting time and breath.
They always come back and say we never said at.
Sully, you're muted.
That's okay. I didn't want to talk over you either. I was like, sorry. Sorry.
No.
Excuse me. Well, it's interesting because the quad guns on the Falcon and other kind of like the heavy artillery, they were originally supposed to be called AK guns, and that's supposed to have been like after the Ben Burt sound effect of the firing blaster, AK, and so then we got at. I wonder if
I don't know.
Well, if I got a cool toy like that, I'll call it whatever you want. If you bought it for me, Pops.
It was wicked, brother. It was wicked. Yeah, wish I still had one. I wore a Star Wars. Let's see, Star Wars costume to the Halloweeny party. It was a bit of a mashup of fat Han Solo with the Princess Leia on Ursa Burr, Han Solo's sister? Question mark. I don't know. Ursa Burr. I like Ursa Burr. That is really funny. That is really good. Lordy, you got me with that one. That's really fun. Yeah, no, toys for the big deal, and yeah, it was. In these informational encyclopedias, it was all that kind of stuff down that rabbit hole for sure. So, but AC, now that you've been collecting and doing Legos and everything for so long now, what is like the gem of the collection?
I mean, I think the obvious answer would be that Venator because it's the biggest one that I have out of everything. But recently I got something pretty cool, which James, I still haven't opened it yet. Remember the little Boba Fett toy that I got with the comic?
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to open it yet, but that thing's pretty cool, and I might open it, and I need to get it bag and boarded as well. I sent you that photo a while ago too, Pops. But that might take either second place or first place. I got to read the comic first to determine. But yeah, that massive Lego set, Star Wars set, is definitely my number one thing right now.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked. Pretty wicked. It's good. James, do you have much fond memories of? I don't know if we talked about this last time or not about the early Star Wars toys in the old Jinja Ninja house or not.
Oh yeah, like we had the Millennium Falcon. We had them all. We had all of the little toys, the figures, and we would. It was just our house was full of like my brother, who's 5 years older than me. He was a huge Star Wars fan as well. So like he had the toys, and then everything was just Star Wars in our house. Yeah, he had like the whole Star Wars covers. I remember those. Now that we're talking about that, I completely forgot about that. So he had the Star Wars covers.
Oh, the sheet sets. Okay.
Yeah. You must have had those, right, Sully?
Yeah, I remember those fondly, and like I had the I remember having the Empire Strikes Back thermos and lunchbox in second grade. I had the Battlestar Galactica one for first grade. With second grade, it was the Empire Strikes Back, and I had Yoda. It was a yellow thermos, and I had Yoda on it.
I remember I had the case, the big Darth Vader helmet case to put your figures
the action
in.
Figures,
Action figures in. I had that. Oh, and here's the bummer. My family, we moved around all the time, and we didn't really get much warning about it. I won't go into details why, but it was just frustrating. So what happened is we would have all of our toys and everything, and then all of a sudden we get back home, and it's like, okay, guys, time to go. We didn't have time to pack up our toys or anything. We had to leave all this stuff behind, and it was just. I remember I had like tons of He-Man toys, tons of Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and somebody else got possession of them. So, yeah, that's not a fond memory, but it is a memory, nonetheless.
And you know, it's I had the exact same Darth Vader case.
Yeah.
I had it for years. I think one of the boys got it. I don't know for sure, but I don't have a commercial for that case. Believe it or not, I have a commercial for this one.
From Kenner, it's the Star Wars mini action figure collector's case. Action figures sold separately. The collector's case holds 24 Star Wars action figures, like Stormtrooper, R5-D4, and Snaggletooth. It comes with 2 plastic trays to keep them in, or you can turn the trays over and display all your figures in action poses. You can pack up Star Wars action figures and take them with you.
The Star Wars mini action figure collector's case. Action figures each sold separately. From Kenner.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you check out my show later today with Baron is going to be on with me. He has talk about a guy. It's like, where did he get those wonderful toys? He just happened to be one of these people who had parents who were like, hey, listen, take care of this and don't do this and don't do that. And then they survived different relations. Anyway, so long story short, he has 3 of those cases full of figures that he shares briefly. Ooh. He has tons of original stuff. So we did a little bit last year. We did a little bit more this year. So yeah, talked about some good stuff. Man, look at you guys come rolling up in here. We appreciate seeing you guys. Pop culture mechanic popping in. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I think putting that link out there like you just did that helped bring.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I went through. Yeah. Anyway, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up some other later date because I probably scheduled it and did it wrong. Because Twitter has a default of like the future dates and times that's really weird, and
that makes
I
sense.
probably didn't catch that it was done wrong. That's probably where it went. So I'm trying to do better about scheduling, but So maybe it'll be early June. It'll pop up. Hey, we're kicking off Star Wars Day.
Hey.
Sully's like, I'm not kicking off Star Wars Day. What's happening right now?
I just celebrated it all month long. Boy, am I tired. No, actually, I've adopted Star Wars month, to be honest. It's more fun that way. I mean, and I only got savvied on this year to May the 1st, 501. 501st. It's Vader's. Dude, that makes complete sense.
We set up Osaka Comic Con on May 1st, and the 501st is there.
Really?
Yeah. So they were all like going crazy about it because it's
their day, man.
That's their day. Yeah,
that's
and
that works for me.
And not to we're not changing topics. We're talking about Star Wars, but we did have Star Wars Celebration here in Japan this year. Yeah.
Did you go?
No.
Okay.
It was in Tokyo, but I applied for a booth. But I was late applying for a booth because I didn't find out that it was there was an application for booths until 2 days after the deadline was over.
Darn it, because you could.
But I tried my best.
As an artist, man.
Well, that's the thing. I tried to use the whole top sketch card thing to try to get my foot in there, but and it seemed like they were open to the possibility of it, but it didn't. The mail went to the wrong people, and they didn't find out until the last minute about stuff. So what I heard,
the Force. Did you wait for them to kill you if you went to one more convention?
I'm actually glad I didn't get in because I didn't get back. I went to the States and I got back on the 10th, and I was dead, and I had so much stuff to do for Osaka. I was like, it's probably a good thing. But AC and we heard a bunch of stories from people, but apparently the place was just packed. And you had to wait it was like going to a theme park, waiting hours and hours and hours. And there was even some horror stories of people bought tickets to get their photo taken with celebrities or whatever. AC, which one? Oh my gosh, why am I going blank on his name again?
It was Hayden Christensen.
Thank you, Hayden Christensen. A bunch of people had gotten tickets to get a picture with him one-on-one, right? But they overbooked them, and even though they were all sold out, they kept on selling tickets. So in the end, they would just group a whole bunch of people who didn't even know each other and just throw them, and they would take a picture with them together. That's
wow,
dude, you can't do that.
Wow. Well, speaking of that,
someone
who might be right next to you on this panel, and going to Boston Fan Expo in August, has already paid $500.
I was gonna say,
to get his photograph taken with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
Wow, there you go.
That's cool. I put the extra $30 for the frame, of course, because it's going right on my wall, right above my Star Wars shelf. I deserve it.
Now, are you gonna get them to do a pose or?
Don't know. I think we're just gonna be just be real. You know what I mean? And
no high ground stuff. Nothing like that.
I mean, shit, man. I'm sorry. Ewan McGregor is one of the finest actors of my generation, and I love his movies like Shallow Grave, Velvet Goldmine, Moulin Rouge.
Trainspotting.
Trainspotting, exactly. And he's got the list of great movies, and and he's going for $260 alone just for the photo.
Yeah. I'm glad you threw Moulin Rouge out there. I'm a big fan of that movie.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
He did his own.
Ed Roberts, good morning.
Good morning.
And have you ever heard about the Australian movie Lion 2016? I think they won an Oscar also. No, do not know about that much.
I don't know that one.
Great to see you. Star Wars Celebration is nuts. AC, you haven't been to a Star Wars Celebration either?
No, I wanted to go to this one, but like James said, it's in Tokyo, and I don't live there, so it would have costed me extra to get the hotel ticket and the plane ticket to get over there. And it sounds like I dodged a bullet because my friend was the one that had a hard time with the photo taken there.
Yeah.
I don't know why they decided to do it like 2 weeks before Comic-Con, because they kind of it ruined the ability for some actors to stay
Yeah.
for the Comic-Con, because they basically all went back to the States, most of the Star Wars actors, and then Comic-Con this year didn't have like a lot of like super big name people or even like classic people, so that was a bit odd that they did it like that.
Well, I think one thing that a lot of people are complaining about, that we didn't have the Star. There was like, where are the Star Wars celebrities at? Because people come there for the Star Wars celebrities, and there weren't. There was only like the
Well, the
guy who
Daniel
plays.
Logan was there,
Yeah.
young Boba Fett, and I
Yeah.
think Morrison came tomorrow. He always comes, so I'm pretty sure he was there.
Yeah. But this year we had Nicolas Cage. That was great. It was good.
Wow,
Good to see,
Nicolas Cage. That's incredible.
and I have like a regular customer, and they ordered a commission of a half Ghost Rider, half Nicolas Cage face, and then they took that and he got him to sign it, autograph it. So there's that. That's awesome.
it, man. You're on the walls. You're on the wall in somebody's house. That's freaking amazing. That's awesome.
He knows I exist.
As someone who's done Star Wars Celebration a couple times, let me just tell you, it is like a theme park experience. It's way overcrowded. I don't know. I've never been to Boston Expo, but I assume on that type of scale, similar to what you guys are experiencing over in Japan, imagine those type Comic-Cons, but the one here in Florida was in a building that has 4 floors. Well, normally the Comic-Con's just on 1 floor. For
Right.
Star Wars Celebration, it was on all 4 floors.
Yeah.
So both the movie theaters were playing Star Wars content. Think about the massive auditoriums. There was, instead of having 1 or 2, they had like, 6 or 8. It took like 2 hours to get in, because I went to the one. Anyway, Harrison Ford had flown in, and it was a last minute thing, and nobody knew it was coming. So anyway,
He didn't fly, did he?
Oh yeah, no, he did. He did fly. And
no!
No, it was one of the flying catastrophes where his plane like jogged in front of some other plane, and it was a big thing. Yeah, it was a huge thing. And I didn't know that at the time because I was in the middle of this
saying
adventure.
that.
No, he did not. He did fly. He
Wow.
did fly, and he landed.
Oh
his
boy.
Yeah, he was like a little. Yeah, so that's how I don't say I met him. It's kind of a weird thing. But how I got him to sign a photograph for me. But yeah, that was it. But it was nuts. People were waiting like 2 hours to get into that panel discussion where they were all going to be there and stuff. But yeah. Did Harrison get off his plane? No, I don't know. Maybe I'd have to ask his wife, his publicist. Maybe his publicist is like rolling his eyes at that
That's
guy.
not how the Force works.
Oh, that's great.
I know.
It's so funny. I mean, I have to be honest. It is kind of interesting. He's 30-something years old when he does Star Wars, and you kind of fall into Raiders and everything else. And here you are now, like 80-something years. That's all people want to do is start quoting these random things back to you and asking you intricate details. It's like the fans are no different. We're no different than whatever. And yeah.
Why doesn't anyone quote Witness?
Oh, Snorty, yeah. So I guess that was really what had happened. He was on like the wrong runway or something. Like he landed and he kind of, because it's a private plane, but it was like he cut in front of somebody else or something else was the story or whatever. I didn't know this until like the day or two later. It was on the news, but yeah.
He thought he was flying the Falcon. That's why.
He's notorious. Just what he is. But yeah. All right. Star Wars Celebration, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. Folks, if you can afford it, I would just say really try to front end your most important stuff that you can do on the Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday is completely mayhem behind mayhem. Focus on maybe a shopping day instead, even though there are certain celebrities that will only be there on a Saturday. It is if you're into Star Wars, but I will say when you go on a Thursday, like all of the actors that were in like Attack of the Clones, like the guy does Kit Fisto and Plo Koon and all these folks, they were super kind and nice to you because they don't have a ton of people lining up for them. So it was really cool, chatting with Daniel Logan briefly, stuff like that. So it's a fun experience. It's interesting.
Were they pre-Disney or?
Yeah. This is all. This was not pre-Disney. My passes were not pre-Disney. This was Disney, but before it was changed. One of them, though, the last one I went to, was the first trailer release for Last Jedi before we knew what was actually going to be happening. Right. So at this point, the hype and stuff was still through the roof. They had brought in a full-size TIE fighter that was on like the stage
Wow.
area and
Wow.
stuff, and it lit up and stuff. The
Oh,
poster, of
that would-
course, felt very much like the original New Hope poster with the way the color palette was and things. So, in hindsight, I wasn't privy to like whatever Ryan Johnson was saying or whatever. I still was like, oh, he did a fine job on these movies. We'll see. We didn't know, and it is what it is.
And now we
So,
know, and knowing's half the battle.
DJ Ronnie G is here. Good morning to you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. And last year, DJ Ronnie G, you didn't message me, tell or say something here, Ronnie, if you're going to do something on Star Wars Day for this day. You did something last year. I just didn't know for sure if you were, but yeah, let us know. So, so AC, you've run through. Now we're on the 25th. The month's coming to a close. Catch everybody up a little bit on some of the different things that you've been doing.
Yes, so actually, I think it was right after James and I watched episode 3. I went home and I did a Lego build stream because I had some Legos waiting for me. Unfortunately, I wanted to do one more build stream, but the one set that the last one I'm waiting to get in the mail is on back order, so I won't get it till next month, which it's fine. So I did a build stream. I built, I think it was 4 sets. One of them was like, or 2 of them were like, if you purchase X amount of money during this sale period, you get like a free, like a bonus set. So that was pretty cool. And then for the rest of the month, I did a gaming stream for, I did a couple different gaming streams. I did one for this game called Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which is basically like a prequel to Attack of the Clones. And it goes into the kind of like the details of how Jango Fett was recruited by Count Dooku, and it also shows off like how we found the Slave One, his starfighter. You also see Zeb, the shape-shifting chick that's in Attack of the Clones 2. So that was fun. That was my first time playing that. I may or may not was bullied by our mutual friend Nosferatu the Vampire to play that game. So
I can confirm that you were. But
it's a really good PlayStation 2 game. I got that when it came out. All those Ben Burtt sound effects, the music cues.
Yes.
Tamora Morrison reprising his role.
Yes.
It was so good, and the ability to use non-lethal force and make money. I love that thing. You could put down Django's sight, on his helmet, and you can tag your bounty and bring him in alive and get more money.
Yep.
That was fun. Yeah.
And then what's really neat is inside the game, if you collect those bounties, you get like credits, right? And I believe if you collect enough credits, you actually unlock like artwork. There's a Dark Horse comic inside the game.
Right,
yeah.
Oh, cool. So Jango Fett #1, yeah.
Yeah, there's like some incentives to like really play the game as much as you can. So that was a lot of fun. And then just the other day, yesterday, I sat down and played from start to finish on stream. One of my favorite Star Wars games known as Republic Commando. And you actually have that little commando on your thumbnail there, Pops. I'm sure that was done on purpose, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Commando? It's not about not wearing underwear. It's like a real Banana Republic joke. But
yes, so I did that the other day.
Was Republic Commando an offshoot of Battlefront 1?
Not really. So it was made by a different studio, I believe, but it just is like a single player, like kind of story driven first person shooter game. And you play in a squad of 4 Republic Commandos, and just go through the story. And it takes place between Attack of the Clones, like right at the beginning, or excuse me, right at the start of the war, and it goes to roughly the beginning of Episode 3 as well. And that was another like Xbox, PlayStation 2 time frame type of game. And interestingly enough, there, Pops, there is a book series written by Karen Travis. It's the only Star Wars books that I've read, and it's about the Republic Commandos, but it's about a different squad. And it's a really cool book series. It's about, I think, 4 books long, and then there's one called Imperial Commando. And anyways, the squad that's in the game make like a cameo appearance in the book series as well. So this is the reason I played the game, and then I went and read the book series. That's kind of got me into it.
See, that's the fandom that you want, man. You want the stuff that's going to feed into the other thing to keep you interested and want more and that kind of. That's what I was saying about James and the Cards. It's like I love having that sort of open back and forth with the Jinja Ninja art studio. Like, oh yeah, let's find one like this. Let's find one like that. Let's find some of these random things that people will maybe be a little off kilter and like get them down a rabbit hole. Get them thinking, oh man, what? I haven't seen this movie before. I haven't seen this one in a long time. Or what scene is this from? I don't totally recognize what's happening here. That kind of stuff. I love it. It's great. Snorty says, didn't bother to see those last sequel. All right, fair enough.
Good for you.
Low profile content. I'm reviewing at work right now. Well, listen, man, we're looking forward to it. A topic relevant clip of juggernauts crushing up pickup trucks this morning. Oh, okay.
Huh.
And Snorty is still trying to figure out what underwear is. Or...
I don't think it's would do much for a polar bear to be honest.
Yeah, it's not gonna stick. Let's be honest. I think it's on the OG Xbox, probably PS2, definitely the Switch game. All right.
Yeah, I got a copy of Star Wars Bounty Hunter with my PlayStation 4 Star Wars Battlefront bundle. I got 10 years ago. It came with Jedi Starfighter, Podcast Racer. I mean, Podcast Pod Racer. Thank you, Podcast Racer, and also Super Star Wars from NES, which is a fun.
One of the most brutal games ever made.
It's so hard, and I played on easy, but it's so fun.
Man, I want to get a podcast racer game now. Like we get it's just YouTube creators with our microphone, and we just have to run through these little obstacle courses and still try to keep the stream going.
They do that on G&G awesome. With Mario Kart, man.
So, James, do you want to share some of the art that you're allowed to share? Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You let me know when it's ready, and we'll switch.
Oh yeah, I've basically got. Let's see. Did I share the hyperspace ones? I don't think I did.
So for those of you who don't know, James obviously has got some contracts and some agreements through Tops. Have you done any that were not Tops, or is it always through the Tops?
It's always through Tops because Tops has Star Wars contract.
Okay.
So
I just didn't know if you were doing, because I know you did DC work as well. So I just didn't know if you worked for other companies.
Right.
Well,
but DC was DC was through Cryptozoic. And then Zoik. Sounds kind of funny when you say it like that. I haven't had a lot of sleep lately. I'm sorry. The Star Wars is all through Tops, and then the Batman stuff that I did was through what should we call it? Cryptozoic. And okay, I had the link right here. Okay, I could open up the Masterworks one first, I guess.
Whatever you want to get to.
Sure.
Anyway, so what they do is they send him blank cards. He draws on those individual cards.
Right.
And
so
then
this is actually,
yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and then those are randomly inserted into all of the packs. So somebody I know I don't know which one we shared. Someone made a comment. How do I get one of these? I'm like,
yeah,
good luck. It's like a needle in a haystack, man.
Okay, so these are Tops, like bubblegum cards, as we used to call them way back in the day. So what should I be looking for at my local comic book shop or asking for?
Okay, so I do once for I do for like Masterwork, Hyperspace, Chrome, and what's the last one I did? I've done 2 Hyperspace ones, Chrome and Masterwork, and I just got another set of Chrome in the mail today. Recently, that's another 100 cards. But this is for Masterwork, and I decided to do all of these in black and white. I don't know why. I just wanted to do a set in black and white because they have restrictions and requirements for you when you do these. And then this one they didn't require color, but they if you could do it, it'd be great. It's not required though. So I was like, I get a lot of compliments of my black and white work. I'm going to see what I could do with just the black and white cards. So these are some, I think I did about 50 of these. I can't remember. This was the second set I did for Tops. Yeah. So yeah, these are all, each of these probably about an hour to hour and a half.
This is Tops Chrome?
This is Tops Masterwork.
So Tops Masterwork. So you would, Eric, you would look for Tops Masterwork packs or boxes or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you could go to the secondary market and see if anybody's pulled some.
Any Lucy's, because look at that Anakin. Look at that.
I know, isn't that crazy?
James,
good luck getting that away from somebody.
Okay, I'm going to rave
that snow trooper. Oh, it's beautiful.
I want to rave about James just for a minute. I'm sorry, but anyone out there in TV land, please subscribe to James Harris, the Jinja Ninja. He's a really authentic, great artist. I mean, these are so photorealistic. I love this. You capture the essence of the character, the scene itself, and I mean, like, and what did you use for this? Was this ink? Was this
Yeah,
pen and
well, so
pencil?
basically what I'll do is I go through all the movies. I have like a huge database of screenshots that I take because for Star Wars to get the contract with Star Wars, just like kind of a side note through Tops, I have contracts with them to work on Star Wars, um, Disney, Pixar, SpongeBob, and Looney Tunes right now. So one of the prerequisites for getting the Star Wars contract is you have to be able to do realistic, photorealistic work. You have to be able to capture the essence of the
Look at that
of the
Dooku. I
character.
love the shadow and light on him.
So that's why I
him.
wanted to do this.
Is,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
is that him looking up at Obi-Wan in episode 2?
I think it is. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's so good, man.
So what I do is I was like, with these, I just start off with the pencil drawing. I look at the screenshot on my iPad, and I start off with a very light pencil drawing, and then I go over that with ink. And then if I do them in color, then I'll just slap color on top of these. But yeah, even with the color ones, I'll flesh them out black and white as much as possible. And then
Man, I
yeah,
love the hatching in the background and just the line work in this. This is beautiful stuff, man.
yeah, these are all fun. I love doing these things. Yeah,
Because it's like James has his own style. He's done a great comic book, and he's got a very kind of, I've always kind of seen it as a like a Dutch master's kind of feel and look to light and texture. And I've been a big fan of his for a couple of years now. So, but to see this, your definite style, your tone is never betrayed in any one of these. Yet you keep this such great detail in the photorealism. I mean, it's impressive, man. Most impressive.
James, do you sign the backs? Are these the ones?
Yes, you have to sign all the backs. Yeah.
Okay. And then are these Jinja Ninjas or are they James Harris?
No, these are James Harris. So what I'll do is I sign on the back, I put my autograph on the back, and then underneath it, I'll write James Harris. And actually, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Darth Vader and right here,
Tarkin.
This guy, yeah, this one got pulled. Somebody pulled this one, and it's really cool. And people, somebody pulled this one up here as well. And
I'm going to pull this down, but don't stop sharing it.
Oh,
I found one. I found one for sale.
You did?
I did.
How much?
No, you didn't.
See.
Really?
I did. Yeah.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Because this is what I was going to predict was going to happen. Is someone's going to pull it, but that's not like their favorite character. They're an OG or they're a prequel person, right? So then you end up with that sort of in between. That's how you find 150.
Oh, whoa!
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Cad Bane.
Nice.
There he is.
Holy cow! Look at that.
That's really cool.
I haven't
cool.
seen that. That's awesome.
There you go.
And you know, the only reason I drew that one right there is because I went on Twitter and I asked, actually, what's his face? My gosh, I really haven't slept much, so I'm forgetting names. So a guy on Twitter asked me to do this. He's like, I want you to do that character. So that's the one I did. Like everything else was like from the OG or for the prequels, and that was the only one that I did that wasn't from the original or the prequels.
Right.
There you go. For $150. Look at that.
He's from Clone Wars. Originally.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So are you choosing to do black and white, or is that what they're asking you to do? I don't know if I've asked you that.
For this so for every series that I do, there's like different requirements. You get like the guidelines and everything of what you have to do. And so for this series, they said black and white or color, anything's okay. Some of them say they have to be all have to be done in color. Some of them are like, it has to be done, it has to have a background on it. It just depends on the series. And it just recently changed hands. The Star Wars changed over to Topps. I think it was in like last year or so. That's whenever I came in, Topps got a hold of it. So they've been actually working behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that are changing. One of the things that have changed is we don't get artist-proof cards from them anymore, which is a little disappointing because that's what a lot of sketch card artists, they make a lot of their money from getting artist-proof cards where you get to sell them on your own.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But for this one, I just decided, I really like my black and white work, and I get a lot of like good comments of the black and white work. So I'm going to just do all of them in black and white and spend a ton of time just working on each one. And so that's what I did for this one. Yeah.
All right. So the master tip here is if you go to a site, I don't know what sites besides eBay would be a good one to go to, because eBay is to me eBay is the one where you're going to have the person who's like, you pulled the sketch card, but it wasn't the character that they love, so therefore they're going to try to sell it. So you put in Topps, or you put in Star Wars Masterwork, and then put in James Harris. That's his first strategy. You could take out his name and see what other ones you'll get. I see there's also a Neum Nub. There's Uncle Owen.
Really?
There is IG88, which I was like, wow, I like that IG88, man. I love IG88.
I love Wicket. I haven't looked on Wicket. Wow.
I haven't looked for any of these anywhere.
Yeah.
People like tag me and stuff, but I don't really go out of my way. I should have been doing that.
Well, it's kind of fun to know that it's out there. It's into the Star Wars verse, man. There you go.
Yeah. Wow. I could show you another. The first set that I actually ever that I did was that was Masterwork. That's the second series that I did for them. But I also the first one I did was Hyperspace. And I could share those with you if you want me to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. Keep going.
Hold on
AC, you got any photos or anything of your works? I don't know if we've shown off any of your stuff in a minute.
Are you talking about my Legos? Because I obviously don't draw or anything.
No, you haven't taken any. You haven't taken any photos and like given any tours. I mean, you did stuff like this a while ago. Then you just didn't really come back and do it again.
You know what? You do have a point. I could take some and I could probably throw them up here while James is doing his show and tell. You do have a point here. I can do that real quickly.
I haven't gotten like the latest, greatest on that kind of thing.
All right, I'll be right back.
See, Eric, you're the kind of person that keeps me honest about that kind of thing, because I have to be honest. I just forget and don't think about those types of things. You're the person always like, no, we like to see what's going on. People like to see behind the curtain. And and I don't think of it that way, but you do, and I love that.
Okay, because we all kind of share out here. And this is what we're doing, a great sharing. Like the spinner rack, it's a great kind of thing. But like right here, I got approximately 1/6 of the Marvel collection, because it is 107 issues, 3 annuals, and I think I got maybe less than 20 floppies here. But I have these all.
I wanted to get with you to like do a little show and tell on these, so I'm glad you're doing that now, because I wanted to see where you're at. I want to figure out
like the Columbia 10-speed racer. This is Walter Simonson work, and this is where I believe Walter Simonson met the editor of Star Wars, Louise Jones.
Oh,
there's a Star Wars with your label on the top.
Yeah, James, you were saying?
I said, before I forget, I don't know if he's listening right now, but I wanted to give a little shout out to Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cosplayer from Okinawa. Him and his family, they always come to all of the Comic Cons out there. And he watched your show, Pops. And that's how he found out some things about what I was doing and other,
Awesome.
Yeah. So
just that's awesome. That's so cool, man. And I think that's. Because you know what you get, and this is why Eric and I have always going to be friends in this journey and through the ups and downs. Because I think you can do a video and don't get any views, you can get discouraged, you can sit here looking at the tick counters, you can get whatever. Reality is, man, look at it as a body of work. Look at it as over time.
Yeah,
right. We record a video from 2-3 years ago, and next thing you know, that's how somebody finds you, or or some sort of thing that I never watched this, but I found your video and I watched it. And it's like, man, or I just saw this and I wanted to see what somebody else had to say about it. That to me makes the world go round. That makes all this worthwhile, because that's what this is kind of what it's like. It's like a virtual friendship of our fandom love and our experiences and all of that for sure. So. Snorty's cracking some Star Wars jokes. We have to pause in for that. What do you call an Ewok dipped in honey? A sticky wicket. That's actually that's a pretty good dad pun. I like that.
Oh,
I like that.
Man. It reminds me of a bad joke that Wicket once taught me. He said, "Hey," he said, when he was a little pup, Chief Chirper came up to him and he said, "Hey, Wicket, do you have a problem with poop sticking to your fur?" And he said, "No, sure, Chief Chirper, I sure don't." And then he wiped his, his behind with me.
He picks him up.
Now
and
you
uses
do.
him, right? Now you.
Bump, bump, cheo, waka, waka.
Yeah, Eric is he's optimistic and way more engaged than I. And I have to be honest, I have allowed my cynicism to derail my regular posting and reviewing of comics. Not that I don't still read some comics and stuff, but it's just like it's made me less interested in that from that perspective. But what I do enjoy doing is just doing like a random market check, like what's going on out there, and even stuff I don't read. And then I kind of make those into shorts. So cumulatively, they do find some engagement and some interaction and stuff like that. So Snorty has pointed out that rabbits tend to be good for the exact same gag. So just cool.
Heyo.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Pops,
All right.
if you wanted to, I've got a. Oh, there you go. Oh,
yeah, I'm on it. I got to get to the pause and let you.
Sorry about that.
You're fine. You're fine.
Sure. This is so for these are hyperspace. This is the hyperspace series, and in the hyperspace series, you have to do like shots that take place on that planet. So like you could see the name of the planet is in every one of those. It's on the card. Yeah. So this one was from the how do you pronounce it? Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk. Yep.
Yep. And then Hoth. And then
General Viz.
Naboo. And then what else?
Oh, look at Darth Maul. Damn. Look at Palpatine. That's a great expression on his face. And I love the black and white. I love the light source. I love the hatching on that. And look at the lightsaber duel. Obi-Wan.
I'm going to see Boba Fett because I think I may have found your Boba Fett card online.
Oh, really?
I don't know. We'll see. You got to see if it's the right card or not.
There's the one for Bespin right there.
Mustafar.
And then I think that's it. Yeah, Bespin, Mustafar, Naboo, Hoth, and Kashyyyk. And I've got kind of like a sad story. I just did my second run of hyperspace. I did 50 cards and I sent them off to him last week. And they've changed. I guess they've changed some of the guidelines. I don't know what it is, but my cards, they never get rejected, right? Because I put a lot of work into them. But I had about, I think it was about 13 to 15 cards were rejected because I had covered up the name of the planet and the logo with too much paint.
Oh man.
And they didn't say that in the guidelines. And I didn't even think about it. And I think what it was these are in foil. And I think the new ones weren't in foil. So whenever you paint on top of the foil, like the paint doesn't mix with it. So I never think about it because it's always in foil. But I think they changed maybe to cut costs or something. They changed towards not foil. Oh, I was gutted because what happens is the ones that get rejected, the cards get thrown away. They get burnt, they get torn apart, thrown away, thrown to the trash. And you don't get paid for them either. And so, yeah, that was, that had me upset for about a good 2 or 3 days. But, you got to learn the hard way sometimes. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me ask you then. So is this, it's tricky because I don't think this is your card, but it feels like it could be.
No, that's not mine.
No, that's not yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the name on the back, the name on the back felt like it could have been a James Harris.
See how that person just put their autograph on there?
Yeah.
You have to put your autograph and your name on there.
You have to put your name. Right.
Because you don't have to, but if you want people to know who did the card, you got to put your name on there.
Yeah, you want to,
Yeah. Because whenever I first started doing it for them, I was like really like, okay, is it okay if I do that? Is it okay if I put my my full name on the back as well? Because I want people to be able to find me. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gap is here. Great to see Gap. It's awesome.
Hello.
Awesome. Yeah, foil's good. Foil's good. Let's see. I'm chilling at work. Quiet day where I got my office to myself. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Jill's here. Everybody's hanging out. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. Great to see you, Jill. Great to see different folks coming in. Gap came in. There was someone else. Sorry if I missed you. James, do you have, so when you draw these for them, so let's say you have 20, 30 of these things piled up now that you, especially the ones that didn't get released, are you allowed to sell prints of them or anything? Are you allowed to do?
No.
Okay.
No. So what happens is like they've got complete control over those, and then, but what I am doing now, and this is, I don't know why I haven't done before. And Angry Canadian, he was like, "Man, you should," because I at my booth at cons I sell like postcards and prints of a lot of work that I do. He's like, "Why don't you have any Star Wars stuff up?" I go, "That's a really good point. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, for these cards, I don't use those images because I would get in trouble for that. I'm pretty sure. But things that I do, and I do have a couple commissions. If you wouldn't mind, if I could share those.
Well, let me get to a little show and tell from Angry Canadian here, because he's got us caught up here. Because I was saying it earlier, listen, folks, if you have not checked out AC, he's got these incredible Lego builds and stuff that goes up there, and it's like to take a tour of how cool this stuff is. It's phenomenal. So take it away, AC.
Yes. So basically, May the 4th time frame, Lego does like a double points sale with their Lego Star Wars sets, and they do it for like specific Star Wars sets. So I bought like just the specific ones for double points, and this is one of them. I didn't really plan on buying this originally, but like I said, I had the double point attached to it, so I bought it anyways. I'm a sucker for Republic era like ships, Star Destroyer, or not Star Destroyers, Destroyer class or whatever class, and obviously Starfighter. So this one is this one is so tiny compared to my other one. I need to get a better photo. I'll post it on Twitter later, but it's not even like sized correctly to the big one I have, but it's still kind of funny to have it. So anyways, this was a fun one to build. It was pretty quick to build this one. This one's kind of a funny story behind it. So I'm not sure if you've seen Pops, the Rebuild the Galaxy promo that they were doing with Lego Star Wars. Does that ring a bell for you?
Yeah, Jake was telling me a little bit about it, but I was like kind of like, what? So yeah.
Yeah, so it's on Disney Plus. I watched it. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I'm a sucker for Lego Star Wars, and I like just some of the stuff they did with it. So basically, like, it's like its own story, and this kid like takes out this brick, and it kind of destroys the whole Lego Star Wars universe, and everything gets like reformed. So you see like this Akbar trooper, that's what they're called. It's got the Akbar head on top of like the clone trooper body. They're like the bad guys. The Jedi have become the bad guys, and the Sith have become the good guys. So they have like kind of like alternate costumes, if that makes sense. So like a white Darth Vader type costume, and some other like, it's just like altered stuff, altered universe type stuff. And but what's really interesting is this Jedi right here. His name is Jedi Bob in the show, but originally he was a Lego Star Wars minifigure in one of the Attack of the Clone Lego sets. And his original like nomenclature was just called like Jedi Knight or whatever. Like he didn't even have a name, and the Lego fans dubbed him Jedi Bob. And that just kind of stuck around for like 20 years until finally, like, Lego decided to be like, you know what? Or I guess Star Wars, maybe Disney. They decided to make an actual character out of him, and they called him. They officially crowned him as Jedi Bob. But yeah, he goes back way to like the Attack of the Clones gunship Lego set, and so they made an official set for him. I was like, I got to pick it up because I like collecting the Starfighter, so I thought this Starfighter was pretty cool. And that's why I bought this one as well. And
I like
luckily,
the Jedi
it was
Bob story. That's pretty wicked, actually. That's the kind of thing that old Pops would do. I'd be like, wait, but there's a Jedi Bob's a thing. Let's do some Jedi Bob content. How do we capitalize on Jedi Bob? Like we would just make Jedi Bob a thing for sure.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, just a closer up here. I just thought they like kept it exactly how his original like minifigure looked like, just basic brown legs and a basic gray robe and everything like that. So it's just funny. I got it for the memes. This is one of the free gifts I got for buying during the promo sale or promotion period. So it's obviously a different mini version of the Millennium Falcon, and that it was a fun build, just a mini one.
It's good to see the old Falcon too. We can tell. The round dish that Lando ripped off.
This next one is actually kind of unique. So this one is if you purchase X amount of money, you would get this as a free gift as well. And as you can tell, these are like the episode 2 like trainee clone cadets, and they're they're going through like their training course or whatever. I think the little like ship here on the left is like an escape pod of some sorts. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I wanted to get it because I'm a clone trooper collector, so I thought this was cool to have like a clone cadet finally in my collection. So they'll never like sell this. This was like a what do you call that? Like a promo item only. So pretty neat. And then the other Lego set that I didn't get, the back-ordered one, is actually a Star Destroyer. It's like a newer version of the Star Destroyer. So, next month when I do get it, you'll see a Lego build stream at like 8 a.m. in the morning for you US folks. So that's when I'll be building it.
And I think we see that white pod thing. It's a hover thing. I think we see that in the hatchery on in episode 2.
Yeah, that alien looking plant. Yeah.
That would make sense then, because I'm pretty sure this is more of an episode 2 set than it is a Clone Wars set. I'm pretty confident in that. But okay, yeah, I'll have to double check that online. And this is the comic thing that I picked up at the Comic-Con for you there, Eric. So it's got the Shadows of the Empire comic with the 2 action figures. I got this for like $10.
Man, yeah,
that's
pretty cheap. And like I said, I haven't had a chance to open it and read it yet, so I need to open it and read it. But yeah, that's it for my photos there, Pops.
It's a real dark horse book. Shadows of the Empire too. That's good.
That was a fun little story. It was interesting to see that they just kind of ignored it all, and I think it's still one of the shortcomings of just not doing that. So let me go back a little bit and just say,
hello.
I don't know, Gap, you said it. You said thanks for doing this. You know what? Thank you, Gap, for being here every year. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks to these gentlemen joining me every year. Like, doing this kind of stuff. Thanks for folks out there who are going to join me later today. And today is not as robust as it normally is. Just, IRL stuff, life. But you know what? We can still just take a pause, enjoy it for what it is, enjoy it for what it means to, us. Like James was saying, do these cards, they go out into the wild, and who knows what happens from there, and
I was so surprised when you brought up those pictures. I didn't even think to check at all.
Oh yeah, I hadn't checked, so and that was not a very robust check. That's not a thorough check, because obviously Whatnot is probably the biggest place right now among like collectors, like serious people. So one that would be, if it was like a Darth Maul that's in color, that was super, obviously the one that jumps out at you, that would probably be a Whatnot type thing that's going to flip for some money, because that's the kind of thing you're going to find that one guy is like, I have to have it, and just run the price up kind of thing. So yeah. And Eric, I definitely need to know which comics we're still missing on this little Star Wars list, man. I have to.
I'm actually Marvel released a Facsimile issue 1. Probably 6 weeks ago, and I'm looking for that. I'm looking for foil, because there's a foil one, and I'm like, that has my attention. And
you can get a decent copy of the original one for less than $100 for sure. I saw one at a show.
I want a reader copy for the spinner, though. I mean,
it was free comic book day. I think we saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was willing to go to 60 on it, and I'm like, it's a beautiful, nice, you know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, we'll get it for you. Gap, look at you, Gap. Thank you, old gamer, man. OG's been with me since the get-go. He's not only been a supporter and a member and all that, he's been old time, man. Yeah, thank you so much, my friend.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much. That went to Gap. Thank you for that. Scott coming in again.
You can see the people who are
yes. Gap that's doing that. Yeah, they don't cross. So I use StreamYard for Star Wars Day to just kind of split up my usage and all that kind of thing. I do have some regrets about it, because I can't stand that they've not upgraded their software much, but it's okay. It's all right. They don't show the names here. I have to look on screen. But I went to McKinney, Jana, Captain Fandom Nerd, and Mucky Jeebus, and Mike, the Comic Relief Crusader. Thank you, Scott. Again, Scott and OG. They are, from the get-go, man. They were out there back when I was monetized, and been a long journey. 3 years 3 years of doing this and grinding it out and learning a lot about myself and everyone out there, what we enjoy doing. And that's why I did this originally, was to just throw some love out there instead of just getting caught up with some of the negativity. So speaking of love, we should do something. I don't know, AC. I don't know if you've seen this or not. Here's you're a big gamer.
Star Wars. It's great in the arcade. Whoa! TIE fighters! Fireballs! Coming right at me! Watch the laser towers. Aim for the tops. Pick on the cannons. Use the force. They're coming too fast. It's late! It's late! My shields are gone! All right! I'm going in!
Oh, some game, huh?
Some game!
In a galaxy of video games, there is only one. Star Wars, the arcade.
Nice. Yeah.
So have you seen that? No?
Yeah. I used it last year for my gaming marathon. Yeah. I remember. I recognize the commercial, but yeah, this is a classic. Definitely a classic.
Yeah. So that's supposed to be an adaptation, I believe, of the giant console thing we all sat in back in the old arcades.
Yeah, the coin op, the 1983 Atari coin op that used the vector graphics. That was like, you could only use that like on a CRT cathode ray tube monitor. They try, so it's they've had to bootleg a couple, the adaptation to like our HD TVs. They had to tweak that a little bit. I heard.
Awesome. OG says, love those Batman books. Oh, thank you so much, man. I'm glad you do. So for those of you who don't know the reference, he had not had a copy of Knight's Fall. So the Batman Knight's Fall is in trade paperback. Those are pretty plentiful. So I just didn't have to search too long to be able to get up a reasonably priced thing. It'll send them over to him so he could get something. And because people are busy, man. You guys got things going on. So I'll go to a comic shop, try to find something for you. I don't mind. No big deal. I'm not trying to make a ton of money or anything like that, but you know what? Let's go do it while we're there. So yeah, awesome, man. I'm glad it makes you happy and get you what you need. Look at you emojiing. That's what you do it, man. Yeah, that's what you do it around here. Bob Ross emojis, Pops Angels emojis. We got it all.
Pops, I sent you a little something in the private chat whenever you get a chance to look.
Okay. Oh, there's my son. There's my son, Jake, talking Comic-Con, August, huh? All right, maybe you and I go on a road trip. Take at least one of the boys. I don't know if the girl want to go, but I'll go with you. Yeah, we can do it if you want. Let's see here. YouTube Watch. Okay, let's open that in a tab and see what it will do for us. Oh, you found the commercial. Okay, perfect.
I did.
It's one of those things where I have actually unedited files, so I wonder if it were in that one. But yeah, let's do this, man. Let's see. Share a screen. Also share audio. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Spirit fingers.
Wait, swirl.
Collector's case from Kenner's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back collection. You can display it or open it up into an action figure storage unit. It holds up to 31 action figures like Bosk, Lando Calrissian, and IG-88. Action figures each sold separately. There's even a handy chamber for accessories. And it's got a hidden handle, so you can take it with you. Darth Vader Collector's case from Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back collection. Action figures each sold separately. New from Kenner.
There we go.
Yeah,
new from Kenner, indeed.
I didn't have that one, but I had a guilty pleasure that I don't like mentioning it because it feels like rubbing people's noses in it, but I had the Death Star playset that was 4 stories tall to scale to your action figures. Yeah. And it had the cannon, it had the Dianaga, and the trash compactor is orange, and it had a screw. So it progressed the wall towards the door that would burst open. So don't worry, none of your actual action figures will get crushed. Recreating your play scene. And it had the Dianaga too, with its in green foam. I think was it green or gray foam?
I thought it was gray, but I could go green.
It might be gray, but it's and the cannon on the top floor.
Yeah, the cannon was what made it so cool, man.
Oh,
in fact.
Gosh,
so my pseudo-adopted favorite brown daughter says Star Wars is gay. You never hold it against Pops. I know. So not everybody. Listen, Vex. It's okay. Still love you, Vex. Still love you. So, yeah, the case. C-3PO case as well. Full figures wrapped it. Hong Kong wrapped it. Yeah, and the thing was though, like in that commercial, it's kind of a little bit of a faux pas. James could speak to this because he had that one. the IG-88 would not just fit in any spot. He had to go on one of the little side spots because they were not made like Chewbacca, IG-88, and others were too tall. They wouldn't go into the regular slot. So it was a very interesting case. It was a fun. Had them for a long, long time. So
sometimes you have those memories and you're like, did that really happen? Did I really have that? And as we were talking, you're like, what's something like you have fond memories of? And it's like, oh yeah, that case. Oh yeah, and the bed sheets and stuff. It almost seems like it's not real. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys ever had it. But then you find the commercial and yeah, it was there. Yeah.
Maybe that's one of the things that the commercials tap into, because I've had such great reaction to using commercials in so much of my content. Like my Friday shows, some of my interview shows, I'll just throw random commercials in, or some things that people are into. Like if I have somebody like a major Turtle fan, I'll go find some OG Turtle commercials or something, and people really have a fondness for that, because I think there is a reaction that we have. And I know AC and I have talked about this because, as you guys grew up younger than us, you didn't really have, you had some sort of like Saturday morning cartoon experience, but it was just different. And you can find those marathons of those cartoons, and it's really funny how bad many of the cartoons were, but these commercials, man, they were like, they knew how to put us on a hook, man, and get us out there to like badger our parents to buy something. It was incredible. So yeah. All right. Well, guys, we've been doing good. It's an hour and a half. We're getting close to a wrap. We're going around that turn there.
Yeah,
can you believe it's already
time flies?
I know.
No, we're just getting started.
Time flies when you're in hyperspace.
It is indeed.
Not
what else should we talk about?
Crops, boy.
What else should we get into here real quick? I know AC's probably got things to do.
Oh, no, dude, I'm good. What are you talking about? I'm good.
All right, well, then we'll transition to what we're going to do next. We'll just play another commercial.
Return of the Jedi. The death-defying speeder bike chase. The speeder bikes battle it out with these terrific Star Wars models. Adjustable cannon, manually operated speed flaps, breakaway front end. Who will triumph in this daredevil race against all odds? Only you can decide with Star Wars toys.
Star Wars toys. I love the ends of this. The UK versions are even more sort of like exaggerated in some ways than some of ours. It's kind of fun. So yeah, no, I think later today we'll be talking. I have on all of Troy Pacelli's group. They do their Friday show. So it'll be Troy, his wife Netter, and Aged Boomer will be on with me. We're going to kind of walk through some of the timeline again. I know people. I think Eric, you were talking Gen 1. Doesn't that term come from you? We're like Generation 1 Star Wars people. Isn't that what you were?
Oh yeah. We're out there. We're still the ones that's paying for the bill.
Yeah,
aren't we?
But I think it's a viable thing to talk about, like how this actually went down. So we're gonna like walk through some of the timeline stuff, talk about like when the Star Wars radio drama dropped, when people don't even know that exists. We didn't get VHS right away. People don't understand how long it took to get certain things.
I mean, Star Wars didn't premiere on network television. A New Hope. It was A New Hope by then. Because it wasn't A New Hope until Empire Strikes Back came out. Yeah, and then that first re-release after Empire is when they tacked on Episode 4, A New Hope. And Star Wars premiered on network television in 1984. And Empire in 1986. So it was like, that's a pretty long time. I was trying to remember when was the first time I saw Star Wars. I was 4 years old on May 25th, 1977. So I don't remember going to see it that first time. I may have been too young. But it was re-released a few times in the 3 years up until 1980, because I had definitely, I had seen it once or twice by then.
All the way up through 82. And then we got this.
Star Wars. It's the most popular movie in history. The one people enjoy over and over. And now it can be yours. Star Wars. Now it can be playing on an RCA video disc player on your TV tonight. Playing with RCA video discs' remarkable picture and stereo sound. Playing along with hundreds of other great movies and more. And best of all, if you buy a player now starting at just $2.99, RCA will give you Star Wars free. That's right, free. But hurry, offer ends soon.
How much is $299 in 1982? It's
tell you.
got to be at least $1,000, right? It's got to be close.
It was $299.
Yeah, it was $299 in 1982. So it's about a 5x probably.
1982, $299. $1,017.15 in April. I'm using the CPI inflation calculator at the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. I use this often to translate cover price of gold, silver, and bronze age books into what you would be like today. So basically, a 60-cent comic from 1982 goes for about $2.15 today, but we have an average $4.99 cover price for some reason.
The $1.86 Golden Age book. It's AC. You think the missus would go for you asking for like, hey, listen, can we get this $1,000 new breakthrough technological player so we can also get a free Star Wars tape?
Oh boy. I mean, it was already difficult enough to get that UCS Venator, so that was I haven't hit the limit on what I can ask, so I might have to push the envelope a little bit, see what I can what heights I can soar.
Yeah.
I had a quick question though. The beginning, you showed the trailer for the first airing of the Star Wars on TV, correct? Why wasn't the John Williams music used for that commercial? And also this other one you just showed. I understand the other one is a product, so they probably wouldn't have the licensing.
Right.
No, they didn't
they don't have
use
it.
the John Williams music as much. Most of the marketing material and some of those original trailers and stuff didn't have the John Williams music. I don't have the timeline pulled up on when Williams was recording that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of the original material didn't, and it's part of the marketing why people didn't think this movie was going to be a success, because it didn't come across without the music. It comes across as just being kind of weird. Like, what am I looking at? What is going on here? So
yeah, that's we recently went to Disney World when I was visiting the States, and they took me to Galaxy's Edge.
You went?
Yeah.
Ooh, do tell.
And I was like, oh wow, this would be really so much better if they had music playing. There was no music playing.
Nope.
The only place where they played music at was the Star Wars tour, the old ride. That was it.
Oh,
And
you
it's
know, I thought they had some ambient music playing, but I guess not. Maybe you're saying that.
No, there was nothing. There was. I was like, just listen. Nothing playing at all. Like zero. But when you went into the oh my gosh,
the tavern?
the bar. What was it called? The canteen?
It's not the creature cantina. It's like it's some sequel stuff, right?
Yeah. They've got stuff playing in there, but it's more like poppy. This is what they would play in space and their world.
It's just generic. So the biggest problem with Galaxy's, James, tell me whether you would disagree with this or not. I feel like they thought the best solution was just to create something completely amorphous and new. So it all just feels like generic dinner theater Star Wars. It's not Tatooine, it's not Mos Eisley, it's just random stuff. And it's not to bash on sequels, because it's not sequel stuff either. It's just random stuff.
Yeah, it's just random, yeah.
James, so when you walk up those steps though, and you see the life-size Millennium Falcon for the first time,
that with me, it was worth going there just for that.
Yeah, I did. I stopped in my tracks. The missus kept walking.
Yeah.
She didn't realize she was 6 or 7 steps ahead of me. The right first. This was literally I think we saw it about 10 days before it opened to the public. They let us in to see it for this press thing, and she just left me for 6 or 7 steps. And I'm like, I'm 6 or 7 years old right now. I just need a minute to grow back up again.
Yeah.
I'm in shock right now, because you know, when you go to Star Wars celebrations and stuff, you see some X-wings, you see some TIE fighters. It is still pretty cool, but Falcon, that's the only place, man. It's the only place.
Yeah, and it's a whole. There's this battle within you, when you go to the place and you're trying to separate all the feelings that you had from the Disney sequel trilogy and everything they did afterwards, but you kind of have to put that mind block in, that Jedi just kind of have to get rid of that kind of that kind of those images or those ideas in your mind, and just appreciate it for what you enjoyed it as since you were a kid. So yeah, like that. The 7-year-old comes back out. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a similar problem when we went to like Disney Springs with Stone Cold Loki from Talk Hard. He and his wife were down here, and we went over there. So if anybody's coming to Florida, we'll try to hook up and meet up, go do something. Just didn't work for
Yeah.
James on the run, man. James been globetrotting for a couple months, so it's been hard to catch.
It's been nonstop.
We had a similar problem. We were really enjoying some Disney-ania and some fun memories and stuff, but we were also kind of in conflict of our current state.
Yeah.
So we kinda, it was almost like a therapy session. But we know it.
Yeah.
Had a good day and a good experience, which is what you kind of shoot
Man,
for.
I tell you guys, if you guys do ever go to Disney World, go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride and the Tron ride. Those were insanely good. And like, oh yeah, just really, really, and the Avatar ride as well. All three of those really, really amazing rides. And they put in a lot of effort and a lot of, research and a lot of work to make those the way they are. So even though it's like, the corporate people are doing what they do, but the people that are, the hard workers, the artists and everything, you got to kind of try to support what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Oh, gee, that was so true. You could do this back in the day. So I don't know, AC, have you ever even heard of it? I bet my kids don't even know that's a thing. So we didn't have a VCR, but you could rent one. You'd have to shell out like $25 or something as like a deposit or whatever.
Yeah, they came in like a plastic briefcase with all the padding in it. You could rent it for Blockbuster. You had to leave a copy of your mortgage.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of this because around that time you were able to rent video game consoles too, and a lot of people that I know of, like our buddy Unported Lifeform, he said that I think he rented a couple video game consoles as a kid. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. The VCR was first for sure. Galactic that was a complete disaster. It never felt Star Wars, didn't look Star Wars. Just it was weird. Dwayne's here. Great to see you, brother. Anyway, so I know you were talking a little bit, Eric. You were talking about that timeline or whatever. Just a little teaser. How about Empire?
It's coming soon to your video store. Watch this. The Empire strikes back. The ultimate battle between good and evil. Don't wait until it's too late. Reserve your copy at your local video store now.
That's so cool.
Indeed. Perhaps my favorite moment in the entire trilogy in music to go along with it is the asteroid chase.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And then the TIE fighter shears off one wing. Just those Ben Burt sound effects. Man, it was so good.
Speaking of sound effects, I was riding my bike. We just built a new highway, and they've got like this bike. There's these tunnels where you ride your bike through now. I always like to ride my bike around that area. And before there was no bridge or any like cars going over the place, so it was just quiet the whole ride. But now they've got the cars going over you, and it freaks me out because I'm not used to hearing the cars going over you. But we had like a car that went past me, and it sounded just like a TIE fighter. Like how they had
the distinctive iconic sound of the twin ion drive, twin ion engine TIE fighter. No shields, no life support, no bloody hyperdrive. It was all about overwhelming superiority in numbers and speed with those things.
Down the rabbit hole.
I love flying a TIE fighter in the video games, man. Seriously, they're so fun because it's just like you can get wasted so quickly if you're not a good pilot.
Let's see. This is why it took too long. I did one I thought would be funny about the Ewoks, but it didn't. It's uncut. It's like 5 minutes long. We're not doing that, so it's a mess. But I did have Phantom Menace. I had Phantom Menace.
The galaxy's most legendary heroes, fearsome villains, and coolest vehicles. Now available to take home and play with at Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC. Right now at participating KFC locations, you can get one of these cool Star Wars Episode 1 collectible toys inside every KFC kids meal you buy.
Wow.
You'll Yo quiero Star Wars.
KFC kids meal. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that they would do. It's like everything went against the wall. So isn't it funny though when you listen to that how the movie guy voice changes on a dime? Like it's incredible villains, and then it's like are available at KFC. You're like, wow, he goes right from there. It's so funny. So yeah, no, it was Pizza Hut had stuff. It was everywhere. Just they threw everything. So
Pizza Hut, yeah.
Pepsi had all the labels on all their 2 liters in their cans.
Yeah, bring me back. I know it's fun to sort of reminisce, that kind of thing. So before seeing Revenge of the Sith in theaters or whatever, when's the last time or what's the last ones that you've watched, James?
Before seeing well, to do research for the cards that I do.
Yeah.
I just go back and watch the movies again.
Okay.
So the last, for the hyperspace ones, I went back and I watched episode 3. Well, no, 2. Episode 2.
Okay.
And then that was the last time I watched one. And that was hyperspace. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, so here's a card challenge for you. Maybe you should try to sneak one in from like the holiday special or the Ewoks cartoons.
That's on their guidelines. You're not allowed to do them. Yeah.
See,
so they've got restrictions.
Yeah.
Of characters and from certain, and they have like a jury of people that go through the cards and check them.
Gotcha.
And,
would you be restricted to doing your own little postcard arch or things you could have at your booths?
Well, see, that's what I was gonna. I just did some commissions for Osaka Comic Con. I was like, and then Angry Canadian was like, "Man, why don't you do prints of those?" And I was like, "That's a pretty good idea."
Well,
I don't know why I haven't.
If you include the stuff that they would not ever, you couldn't get it anywhere any other way, right? So if you do like a little card of something that's nice, of let's say the Boba Fett from the cartoon, if it was animated from the holiday special, it literally is the first appearance of Boba Fett. So that seems like or a white Boba Fett because his original design was completely all white. Those kinds of things.
Right.
So
yeah, definitely.
I don't think they deny it exists. They just kind of keep it as sort of like an unspoken thing. For sure. Yeah,
I bought a copy of it on Blu-ray, actually DVD, at the last Comic-Con I went to, because I had an old VHS copy. But of course, when was the last time I had a VCR? I can't. But it's for the shelf, so I would. And it's proudly, displayed on my Star Wars shelf between Star Wars and probably Solo or Rogue One, and I've taken the sequels out of that and I put them, into the corner.
AC,
you go in the corner. Turn around.
AC, have you seen the holiday special?
No, not yet. I've been wanting to watch it. I just need to find the means of watching it because I'm very curious to see like how cringy that it's been told to me, I guess you could say. More specifically, I want to see the cartoon of Boba Fett because that seems kind of interesting. So
the best part, yeah, it's an artifact of a bygone era, and it's in the style of television production called the variety show, and they were meant for grown-ups. And it was music and comedy and skit stuff, and that's what it was. So of course it was made for normies, but we didn't have that terminology back then. But it was made for like your kids are gonna watch it, but just like the adults are gonna tune in. It was prime time on a network.
I
feel like
treat you guys.
Let's say I feel like it's a rite of passage to be a proper Star Wars fan, to watch the holiday special, just like getting flogged during basic training, for example. You got to go through it. You got to go through like everyone else.
There you go. It's out
there it is.
Oh, all right.
It is zany and
Godspeed.
We all I can tell you is this aired, and I don't know what's happening in the Wookiee virtual reality world. You can decide for yourself. Same thing with the Harvey Korman and drag cooking show thing.
B. Arthur as your bartender, and I always remember that alien pouring his beer into the top of his head. Yeah, it was the night before. It premiered on November 18th, 1979.
Yep. 78.
That was 78. Sorry, and that was the night before my birthday. My birthday's on the 19th, so it was a big deal for me to stay up and watch this Star Wars in my special my special Jim Jams.
Oh, that looks like the heavy metal artist.
It's got a great art sense to this, man. It really does.
Definitely weird. And
oh my goodness! Listen, don't spoil it. All right, I gotta sit through this on my own.
Is it Harvey Korman in drag, making fun of like the Julia Child's cooking shows?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Wookiees getting ready for Life Day. So yeah, we get some stuff out there, folks. I don't want to tell you.
Wow,
I'm looking forward to it now.
Yeah, the link is there, folks. If you feel so, it probably needs more attention and more conversation and more references. So yeah, yes. So yeah.
You wonder what became of Lumpy and Nala.
Yeah.
And
so
Itchy.
there's some fun. Yeah. It reminds me of something. I have to figure out how to upload. I gotta find it. So yeah.
And Carrie Fisher was so excited to show off some of her natural talents because her dad is Eddie Fisher and her mom is Debbie Reynolds, professional singer, dancer, actors. So she grew up, to be the second generation superstar in a way. And her big number in this show was the Wookiee Life Day song. Today's a day of love, a day of peace.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, stay away from cocaine.
This was her big number.
Yeah,
she really was.
And when they're asked about this, they sort of like don't know what to say sometimes. And then there's great clips of Harrison Ford asked about it. He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like he just does it. He just like pretends.
Nice.
Like
Deflect.
It's funny. Not even like deflect like in a bad like offended. Just deflect like no, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
If it's not in the archives, then it maybe never existed.
That's sort of a little bit of their take, I think. Here we go. Holiday special parody. There we go. I knew I had it somewhere. Here we go. I have something that's just gold. You're not going to believe this. Kudos to, I believe, everyone here knows Troy Pacelli. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Hello, Troy.
It's loading. It's got to have an attitude problem because it's going to slow down our stuff. But he put this together, believe it or not.
From Kenner, Star Wars Holiday Special Collection comes Mala, Itchy, Lumpy, and all 20 action figures, including the new Bloodlow, Zutmore, and more, each sold separately. And now, Akmina, Star Wars bartender, with her drink dispensing pitcher. Akmina is not yet available in stores, but you can get her free with 4 proofs of purchase from any Star Wars Holiday Special action figures. Details on specially marked packs at participating stores. Offer expires May 31st. Star Wars Holiday Special action figures, sold separately from Kenner.
That's brilliant.
That's really cool.
That's good. I'd buy that in a second.
I'd buy that for $1.
I've always wanted a P. Arthur action figure.
Yeah.
Dude, it's great. It's going to mash up well with my Golden Girls playset.
That's so good. So much fun. So. All right. Well, folks, got to start wrapping up. I got to take a little bit of a break, keep my health up for the rest of the day. All the different things going on, 3 streams. So
yeah,
let's see here.
Thank you.
Turn Anakin and Darth Vader. Yeah, maybe. I know a little love for Carrie Fisher.
And maybe Harrison can't really remember. I read some of Carrie's autobiographies, and she was talking about being in London shooting Star Wars in 1976. And she was like, besides having an affair with Harrison, who was married at the time, but Harrison had this marijuana that was so strong it made me stupid. And he smoked it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, her stories, man, the stuff that happened. And then we were just doing that. We did Talk Hard on Blues Brothers and seeing pictures of her with Belushi. And, she has like the Coke fingernail and stuff. And you're just like, oh my gosh. Some things just, wow. AC. All right. So what's the plan, AC? You got some more Star Wars stuff, or you got this thing coming in the mail or not? What else is going on?
Well, we will see about, I'm not sure exactly when in June, but sometime in June, I'll be building that Star Destroyer set. As far as Star Wars content, I got nothing else planned this week. I gotta catch up on some sleep and some other stuff. So, um, but yeah, Star Wars related. I mean, I had fun this time around because last year I did the like 13-hour stream of playing all these games, and that was like it was fun, but it was brutal. So I'm glad that I was able to space it out this year and just do like an entire month of like playing on the weekends and just playing a new game that I never played before. So I'll probably do that again next year. It was a bit more manageable.
Ooh, maybe next year we'll have Battlefront 3 and we can play together.
Yeah, so we can wish and hope, my
You
friend.
can play clones. I want to play clones and clankers. You know.
Actually, one game I want to try to play next year. I'll make sure I reserve it. Is the Revenge of the Sith game because I heard that game is fantastic, especially because there's like alternate endings to that game, which is like pretty funny. So I want to try to shoot for that next year. That's the goal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. James, what's plans, man? What's going on? You got more cards and stuff to work on, I know.
Yeah, I just got finished with the right before the stream started 50 Disney ones, but now I've got 100 of these guys. Star Wars Chrome Galaxy 100. Due yeah, in 1 month. So I'll be drawing a lot for the upcoming month every day, for about 3 to 4 hours every day. And then hopefully I'll be able to knock those out. Whenever I get the permission to show what I've done since those Masterwork sets, I'll throw those out and tag you on it, Pops.
Absolutely.
But for the meantime, I'll just be working on commissions for Osaka Comic Con. And I'm going to be, in July, I'm going to be in Tokyo again for Japan Comic Art Expo. It's just a gigantic artist alley.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'll be exhibiting there, and then I'll be also. Well, this isn't for a while now, but if everything goes well, in April of next year, I'll be in Dubai for the Comic Con out there. I got accepted to that, so yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Legend.
Yeah.
I know. He is indeed. He is indeed.
I'm just a man.
Eric, what else going on with you the rest of the day and the rest of the month? What's going on, man?
Well, me, I've got my show coming up at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, the Super Sully Sunday stream. Come on by and celebrate a little bit more of real Star Wars Day. And I say that with love and respect to our Disney cousins, because I've adopted Star Wars Month because I don't want to punch down on Disney fans. I don't want to fight with them anymore. I mean, I'm a Lucas era fan, and I'm happy with that. And I don't expect anything from Disney at this point, and I'm fine with that. So I'll celebrate all month. I mean, George Lucas's birthday is in May. All the prequels and the original trilogy were released in May. They can have a day. They can have two. They can have the 501st day. They can have May the 4th. But it's an all month thing for me. So I've got that much love for Star Wars, and I always will. Also, at the end of the next weekend, a bunch of us will be at Dallas Fan Expo in Dallas, Texas. The Thinking Critical Comics Aficionados crew, we're having a meetup. And so if you're in town and if you're going to the convention, look us up. We'll be at H.H. Germont's table for Here Comes Calico. We'll be that's going to be our home base. And we'll be around we'll be around all day Saturday. Let's put it that way. And then I'm leaving first thing Sunday morning because I got a direct flight or I had to hang out more. But that's about it. Yeah. And thank you, Pops, for having us on. This is happy Star Wars Day. Happy Star Wars Month. The Force is strong with us all. It binds us together. You know what I mean? And it illuminates our life. What did Yoda say? About beings are we like? What was the quote? Not this crude matter. It's not spiritual beings, are we? I'll remember at 3 a.m.
It's luminous, isn't it? Luminous beings are we?
Yes,
not this crude matter.
Not this crude matter. Thank you, Pops.
Yeah.
Yes,
Feel the force
luminous
around
beings are
you.
we?
Here and between you and me, the tree, the rock.
Yes. I mean, and I'm so grateful and blessed that Star Wars was a big part of my life, a big part of my childhood, and we get to keep, sharing this experience. It's 3 generations old now. Yeah. May it keep on keeping on, and yeah. God bless.
So I will. I'll repeat it so everybody knows. I won't be doing this next year. It falls on Memorial Day next year, so that's a little awkward for me. So I'll be doing this on Memorial Day next year. But the year after, 2027, I'll have to figure something out with the wife. That's the 50th anniversary. So it may be the last time I do it. It may just be like, let's just do like a full on, kill myself sort of situation here to pay homage to something that I love this much. But it's great, man. I do have sort of a month approach to things, and I feel like there's a lot of room for that too. Like you said, I didn't even think about May 1st. The 501st thing is even great, even better. So May 4th, Revenge of the 5th, Lucas's birthday, the premiere of all these different movies. It's a lot of a pinnacle of stuff that we love and can enjoy. And there's no reason to get too bogged down with the negativity and stuff. It's just like, hey, don't shop there. I want to tell you, go enjoy the things that you do enjoy. Like that's kind of how I feel about things. And I hope you're doing well and you've enjoyed our day and our time together. Come check out top of the hour, 11 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be doing my thing with Baron, going through some of his thoughts and memories, showing off some cool toys. I show off some more trading cards that I have. So that's kind of fun little time there. And then I'll be back at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time where we talk with Troy, Netter, and AJ Boomer. Different Star Wars moments and milestones, but more of like Star Wars radio drama those people don't know about. And, when did this happen? When did that happen? Some different fun things from that era. So we'll be doing that. At 4 o'clock, I have a video, just a real short one. There's an article that somebody, I think it was Empire Magazine, somebody like the obscure Star Wars characters. I just kind of went through their list, agreeing with a few, but it's, some things I just don't care about, but it's okay. You know what? To each their own. And then, of course, 7:30 Eastern time, I close out my day with the start of my stream. We do a Revenge of the Sith conversation, and man, it's fun times. But this is great, man. Appreciate you guys, each one of you gentlemen, being here with me. It means the world. Thank you so much. Good luck to James, of course, as each one of these rollouts I know mean a lot to him and his family and his career. It's just been great to be part of that journey. Eric, of course, is just such an encourager and trying to cling to that positive energy out there. And AC is like a long lost kid out in Japan. It's like someday he'll come home to me. I don't know what to say. Someday.
It might be sooner than you think.
The flame on his eyeball is the torch that has been passed from our generation to his.
Oh, I love it.
Ain't that great?
So,
yes.
All right. One last commercial. Super short. It's like a little tease commercial, like 15 seconds. And then I'll play my traditional Bob Ross because I kind of have to stay at least on track to the brand. And then we'll head out, folks. You guys take care. Be blessed. Talk hard, but may the force be with you.
Star Wars. New Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jango Fett electronic battling figures.
Don't move, Jedi.
You control every battle and all the action. Star Wars electronic battling Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jango Fett, each sold separately.
Bob Ross. All I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross. I be too calm for the drama. You don't wanna cause a problem, I'll solve it, Bob Ross.